Hi friends, welcome to my new 2025 reading journal. I am so excited for this, and this might look a little familiar. This is my reading journal that I used for 2024. It is an Archer and Olive Blackout journal, but it has like these beautiful silver pages and the moon faces on the cover. I think it's just beautiful. I used about half for 2024, so now I'm going to use the rest for 2025. I really did not use a lot of materials for this. I printed off a lot of pictures, so because it is a blackout journal, it is something you have to use gel pens for because the pages are all black like this. So I ended up using the Sakura jelly roll pens, and I have different sizes for the white, and then I have different colors as well. I will link these in the description. I have a few different sets of the jelly rolls. And then I just outline with a pen, and then when I need to fix my mistakes, I just use a Tombow black pen. That's it. So last year I went ahead and I did a Lord of the Rings theme, and I didn't really stick with it when I was doing my yearly spread setup, but I picked Harry Potter as my theme this year. All right, so without further ado, let's get into my 2025 reading journal. Like I said, it is Harry Potter themed, so I wanted to do the letters coming from the fireplace, and then Harry going to Diagon Alley, and then my title for 2025 reading journal. I don't really see this page a lot, so I was okay with like the space up here, but I really do feel like these letters are coming out. And I found all of these images on Pinterest. I made a couple images and I will point those out to you guys too, but most of these are from Pinterest. So I figured in Diagon Alley, we stop and we go to the Owl Emporium or the post office. So I wanted these to kind of look like little mailboxes, and we have Hedwig up here. This is where my reading goals. In the past I've done, I guess I could just show you. Let me show you my past. So this is my reading goal, and I just cross them off whenever I read them, but I thought it was kind of boring before, so I wanted to change it up a little bit. So instead of doing a book shelf like I usually do, similar to this one, I decided that I'm just going to color in my genres according to this key, and then when I set my goals, I will be putting them under this little envelope, and I think it's just so fun and interactive. I really like the interactive aspect. And then there is enough space for me to color in 210 books. I don't anticipate that I'm going to read that much, but so far this year I've read 160 plus books, so who knows? I keep reading more and more, so who knows if I will actually meet 200 next year. That would be an interesting feat. All right, next we're going to stop at Flourish and Blots, and here you have your book purchases. I really didn't need this much space, but I wanted to give myself this much space just in case. And I keep track of the format that I buy it in, if it's an ebook, audiobook, or physical copy, and if it's a gift. So last year I did track the books that I gave as gifts and books that I bought for myself. And then we will stop at Gringotts for our book savings. This is how I keep track of my savings because I use the library versus going out and buying the book. And I have saved a lot of money by using the library, so I wanted to keep track of that this year as well. Next is a trope challenge. So because I know I read fantasy more than anything else, I put 12 boxes for fantasy books. I'm going to write in my tropes, and I'll go into greater detail whenever I fill this out, and I'll probably just make a separate video. I wish I was the one that came up with this, but I saw somebody else create this and I thought it was such a good idea. So I'm going to put 12 tropes that I usually find in fantasy and put the trope on the side here, and then when I read that book, I will put a little picture of the book in these squares. So I have fantasy, thriller, romance, and advanced. So these are going to be more uncommon tropes. And I already have this all planned out, but I will do that in a different video. And then this is Ollivander's wand shop, because the wand chooses the wizard. And I think sometimes we don't always know what trope we're going to read when we pick up a book. And so I think that this kind of fit the trope challenge and the wand picking the wizard. And then my series tracker, I haven't written in my priority series yet. I believe I only have I started a lot of series in December, so I shouldn't say how many series I have going on right now, but I will be writing the series that I have ongoing and then making a thicker line, and then I will write my new series that I start this year. And then there's a box for every book I've read in that series. I guess I could show you what it looks like from last year. So like for last year, Caraval, I read this before 2023. I read Legendary this year, and then I decided to DNF it. But for series that I finish, I color in the box. So it's just a way for me to visualize my series and kind of check them off as I go. And I really enjoy that. But I figured I'd put the series tracker with the Hogwarts Express because we are trucking along and making progress. We are moving forward and we are crossing off some series this year. I thought that this was beautiful. I wish I knew who the artist was, but I really, really liked this picture of the Hogwarts Express. Next is my reading stats page. So I will show you what this looks like all filled out. Just about all filled out. Hold on. So this is what it looks like all filled out. I did change some things. I didn't want to track every day that I read because it's not really important to me. I think I read pretty much every day in 2024, except for maybe like 3 days. But it's really hard to see on this way of tracking. But I did want to work on reading books in my already owned library. So my Audible, my Kindle, my physical books, and then Kindle Unlimited books. So I'm going to keep house points, keep track of my house points. So I'll label one of these, say physical, and then I'll color in the boxes down here. And then whoever wins at the end of the year, I think that's just gonna be a lot of fun. But I also am keeping track over here just to see what month I read the most in. So I keep track of physical, audio, ebook, my own physical book, Audible, Lady Hoopla, Kindle Unlimited, or Everand, and then my audience, the author. Genre tracker, I gave myself an extra line for fantasy because I ran out last year. And then my page count down here. This is for my ratings. I really don't DNF or give 1 stars out a lot, so I just combine those two on one line. And then I put 2.5 in because I didn't have a line for that last year. And then I put this little sorting hat down here. I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm actually a Slytherin. So I put a little Slytherin in here. It says cunning, ambition, and determination. And then this quote from Dumbledore, it says, happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light. And I really love that quote by him. So since we're at Hogwarts, I figured I would start dividing stuff up into classes. So we have Divination. This is my anticipated releases calendar. I will just write out my date and the book that I'm looking forward to coming out on that date. I already have a video up about my most anticipated releases, at least for the first part of 2025, and I will just scribble them in here. And I really like my little tarot card, and then this says the vibes are looking good, which they are. This next page I am so proud of. Okay, so this is our Care of Magical Creatures class. So we have 2 little nifflers, and if you've read Harry Potter, when Hagrid is teaching the Care of Magical Creatures class, he ends up putting a bunch of gold coins in a dirt patch and giving the students nifflers, and they have to go into the dirt and dig out the coins, and it's kind of a competition. So that's what I was basing this off of. But I have my little nifflers, and then I have gold coins. And honestly, I feel like Hagrid would probably have a fossil or two in his garden. So there's a little fossil down here. But this is my 25 books in 2025 because we are digging for gold. I want a great reading year, and I am just really excited to cross these off. I also kind of toyed with the idea of just like putting a coin on top of them once I've read them, but I kind of like the aesthetic of being able to see what I read. And then over here, I have our History of Magic class. This is the Beat the Backlist Challenge. I will link it down below. I just wanted to make this more Hogwarts themed, so I wanted to make it look like notes from History of Magic class. There are two different versions of this challenge. There's a 52 books and then there's a 24 books. I believe that's what they are. But I did the 24 books. So it's the exact same prompts that they use in the exact same order, but I just typed them out and put them on to parchment paper and made our History of Magic. And then our last extracurricular activity at Hogwarts is our dueling club. This is my book bracket. I haven't decided what month I'm going to put in each box, but there are 6 on this side and then 6 on this side, and then we'll go down to 3 and 3, and then 2, and then 1. But this is to determine my favorite book of the year based on my favorite book of each month. It looks a little bit different from last year because last year I wanted to, this is what it looked like last year. But I'm going to go over this with y'all in a different video because I haven't picked my December read yet. But I wanted to put the pictures in each box. I wanted to put the covers of each book in each box. I just think it would be a lot more fun and visually appealing to do that versus these boxes because I only have room for these 4 boxes. That's all I have room for. So I wanted to do something a little bit different, but I'm excited for this. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, so that is my journal for 2025. I can't believe we're already here. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys soon in a new video, and happy journaling.